You can't be a good parent if you're not present.
Mom, are you watching us?
Sorry.
It's so important for kids to have a healthy lifestyle.
Did you wash?
Yeah.
With soap? Back in.
Mom!
You have to find the funny all the time.
That is not funny. Separate! Separate!
Hi, welcome to Perfectly Imperfect Parents. I am Malika Chopra, and I'm here with my two friends, Dr. Cara Natterson and Danny Modisette. So today we're going to speak about a difficult topic, which is bullying. I feel like bullying's really been in the news a lot, and there have been some very traumatic stories also. Amanda Todd, who we'll talk about, and cyberbullying, to really everyday bullying that our kids face at school, and how do we as parents deal with it?
Well, I think for younger kids, certainly, the bus or the playground is a very common place for bullying to take place. And the reason I say for younger kids is that they're not online quite as much.
No, I didn't know until first grade. My older boy was in first grade, and he got off the bus with a big bloody lip. I was just immediately enraged and, wanted to scream at the other mother. And, I definitely had to edit my initial maternal impulse to punch them back.
Right.
That would probably be wrong. I knew that was going to be the wrong way to handle it.
I think teaching our kids self-defense in life in general is important, but even in these bullying situations, is it okay sometimes to react with violence?
Well, my husband's very pro. In that instance, he wanted to teach Gabriel to punch and defend yourself physically. Right. He thinks that's the best way to deal with a bully.
So what would you do if you got a phone call that your son had beat up someone else at school?
Well, that would be another universe. I would ask, obviously, for details. I would want to talk to the other parent, but, I do feel if someone was in his physical space and threatening him and he defended himself, in my case, I would actually be proud of him because I'd be like, okay, good.
So is that condoning violence, or is it, again, obviously, I come from a traditional, which is, you can speak about it, lead by example, but I have to say, if someone's pushing my daughter, I want her to be able to push them back.
I don't think that's promoting violence.
I don't know, I struggle with it. If your child's in an altercation on the playground, I just personally think using words is a far more effective strategy. No one gets in trouble.
But what about the kid who does get pushed around, and then the next day someone knows, oh, I can push him around?
Oh, I see.
So let's just take
That's when you pull
morality
out
and
the jokes.
ethics.
Yeah. That's when you start tap dancing and go, dude, what's it like being a jock? And I can't think of a funny joke now, but I should come up with some jokes.
But we see these Hollywood endings to these movies where the kid gets bullied and the kid gets pushed around and finally fights back and he does
and he
great.
becomes head of Universal.
The reality is that the smaller and less strong kid who gets pushed around is really not likely to succeed in the fight. That's the reality.
Oh, I see.
So, but I think this is really important because my kids have both faced bullying and, often actually racial bullying where they've been told, why are you so dark, go home. Because I think schools today are very sensitive about statements like that, and, they take it very seriously. And often what they will do is to ask the parent.
The parent of the bully.
The parent of the bully. And the parent will call me and be like, I'm so horrified that my child did this. And then we've had the situation where the bully is actually a child who's taking out home unhappiness on their kids. And so I've been in a situation also where the school has said, oh, well, we will contact the parents. And I realized, you know what? Maybe that's not the right solution. This child is like screaming out for some other kind of help, which the parents aren't really giving.
And that's the classic story of bullying, is that children are not born bullying each other. They're looking at the behavior that they see, and I think bullies are often victims of bullying. But when we move into cyberbullying, I think this is a different level because it is bullying on steroids. It is bullying that occurs not just on the bus and in the playground, but it occurs 24/7. You can't
and it's in a
escape
public.
it.
It's not just 50 kids on the bus.
But there is no break. When these kids develop an online life and an online personality, and they are bullied, there is no respite from it. Whereas when we went to school, Friday afternoon came, and if you had had a bad week or something had happened, you were free and clear till
That's
Monday. This doesn't exist anymore. It's really different.
Well, and I think we've seen, especially in the cyberbullying situation, the very famous case, the Amanda Todd story, which is just, it's so disturbing. It's very difficult for me to even watch it. But that's the reality of what a lot of these kids are facing.
Right, we have video of that?
I think
don't
we should take a look
Yeah.
at some of the video of Amanda Todd.
Yeah.
And so,
And again, this is so difficult actually to watch that sometimes I
Yeah.
can't even watch it.
No, it's so depressing. So that's actually her.
yeah, and she's holding a series of notes that she wrote. So, as horrifying as this video is, what's more horrifying to me is that this is not the only one. There are others out there just like it.
Wow, that's awful. It's so upsetting.
So, and how do we have that conversation with our children? I think it's such a good reminder, though, that if we think we know enough about what's going on in our kids' lives, think again. There's always something more we can know. There is a level of disconnectedness that comes with growing up and becoming independent, and it is really important that we then try to enmesh ourselves in other ways. And
Well, and I think at its core, bullying is about humiliating someone else. And what cyberbullying does is it humiliates it on, an exponential level because it's out there. So bullying, I think it's again something we're going to deal with. We have to teach our kids how to be empowered, be confident, but also defend themselves. Any last tips or advice or thoughts?
Well, I think you have to know your kid and figure out what is the best line of defense for him or her.
And I would say that not everyone's kid is bullied. Some people's kids are the bullies. And as parents, it is our responsibility to know if that's our kid and to help our bully child understand why it's not acceptable behavior and why it needs to change.
I think, again, it comes to empowering our children to feel confident in who they are so that they always feel like they should stand up for themselves. So, great show, a hard topic, and we would love to hear from all of you how you've dealt with bullying in your family. Have your kids been bullied? Have your kids been the bully? How do you respond? So make sure you're subscribed to the Chopra Well, share your comments, and thank you as always for watching Perfectly Imperfect Parents.